Good afternoon, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. We have a fascinating show today. I've been able to book on the show Mr. Tom McMurrain, and Tom is the founder and CEO of CMDX. And I'll tell you, Bitcoin is on the top of everybody's minds right now, from startup founders all the way to multi-billionaires who continue to talk about it. Tom is a best-selling author. He wrote the book, The Seventh Disruption, The Rise of the Digital Currency Billionaire. He's a world-renowned YouTuber. We are so excited to have Tom to come on the show to not only talk about Bitcoin, but also talk about this very unique and interesting thing that he's doing at CMDX. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Andy. Great to be here.
This is super exciting to have you here, Tom. I've been waiting for this show for such a long time to get such an expert on Bitcoin. Let's pull the lens back a little bit to begin the show, and let's have you tell the viewers what CMDX is all about from 30,000 feet.
Well, CMDX is a membership organization. I like to say it's kind of like an AARP. We're a membership organization that provides health and wealth benefits. And we use cryptocurrency to reward people for health and business related activities. And, as you build a membership organization out with crypto, you just continue to add use cases. For example, people can exercise and they can earn cryptocurrency. They can answer health questionnaires and build a health file and earn cryptocurrency. They can shop on our Amazon style marketplace and earn crypto, or they can build a global business and be an ambassador with our company and earn crypto as well. So from a high level membership organization, we reward people for health and business related activities.
I love it. It makes all the sense in the world, and people want to be rewarded for those types of things, Tom. So being rewarded in crypto for the people that haven't gotten into the cryptocurrency plan yet, it's very simple and easy. So maybe you could explain how easy it is for those people that are sort of lagging behind and not really up to date on how easy it is to get paid in crypto.
Well, that's been crypto's biggest challenge, is that the simple, elegant user interface. And that's, if we look back in the internet days, that's what AOL did so well. They came along and had a very simple interface, and it was able to onboard a lot of people, to the internet. We're trying to do the same thing with CMDX, in that when they sign up for free, they get $25 of CMDX rewards. They immediately get a Bitcoin wallet, an Ethereum wallet, and a CMDX wallet. And we just make it simple. We're doing like one-click, pay buttons. The cryptocurrency space has been pretty much a nerdy type community, and they haven't made things easy for the average Joe to be able to transact with crypto. But that's really our goal within the website. You generate an invoice as a provider on our marketplace, and the pay button pops up in your wallet, and all you have to do is click it and it gets paid. But earning crypto is no different than earning any other type of money. It's just a serial number that's fractionalized, and it has a value to it.
That makes all the sense in the world. It's very, very interesting. Now, when we think about what you're doing at CMDX, Tom, one thing that comes to mind is it looks like you're leveraging some artificial intelligence or AI and machine learning. So maybe you could talk about that, because that's very fascinating how you're integrating that into the system.
Well, yeah, we all know Siri, and we know Alexa and Google Home and all that. I mean, basically that's what Brittany is our AI agent. She is built on Amazon Web Services, and she has the ability to ask questions. So we have 5 questionnaires built out with 50 questions each, ranging from, do you want to lose weight, to, what medications do you take? And that data is stored. That's our client's health data file. And we make that available to make health recommendations to them on our marketplace. So when you go to our health marketplace and you switch on the filter by Brittany results, it actually filters out the stores that you don't want to see, and it allows you to see the ones that are probably most relevant to you. And AI and machine learning is just going to change the world, especially as it converges with blockchain technology. Boy, they're a powerful combination.
I love it, Tom. And you're doing such an amazing job as a leader in the field, a best-selling author. You're a world-renowned YouTuber. You're really inspiring so many people with this thing that you call the miracle strategy, which we want to talk about a little bit later on. But let's stay with CMDX because it's very fascinating. You know, there's so many people, for example, in today's world that are looking for an investment. They're looking to place some money somewhere. They've heard about this Bitcoin technology. They understand that it really is an incredible technology. So for people that have some maybe money on the sidelines, or they're looking for an investment, is CMDX something that you would accept an investment in at this point in time? How's it all working with how you're building CMDX?
Well, we angel funded the company initially, or I self-funded it with my own angel money, and we grew it out of revenues through a typical bootstrap strategy. But we've done proof of concept. We're 2 years in, have 300,000 members registered in our system, and everything's working really good. Now it's just a matter of scaling it. So we are actually in the process of looking at the exchange offerings. We're looking at doing probably a private, angel round to position ourselves for our Series A round, because once we hit 1 million members, that's going to really put us on the map. We're at 10,000 wallet holders right now, which makes us in the top 320 largest Ethereum tokens in the world. So I feel like by the end of the year, with our current growth process, we'll be close to 50,000 wallets, and that'll put us in the top 100, and we'll start attracting some pretty serious investors. So we're focusing on the fundamentals. We're not doing pie in the sky and in a white paper like a lot of these companies are doing. We have revenue, and we're growing the business model out of the fundamentals, which is number one, how many wallet holders do you have? And number two, how many transactions have you done? Because that's at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's a currency, and it needs to be used and transacted and held by people.
Tom, that makes all the sense in the world. You're doing it the old-fashioned way with a new technology, which is you're actually earning it. You actually have 300,000 members. You have wallet holders. You're going to get to 50,000 wallet holders by the end of the year. You're empowering your members. They love what's going on the platform. If I'm a member on the platform, Tom, explain to me, or explain to the audience really what that means. What can I do on the platform as a member of CMDX right now?
Well, that's easy. For $50 when you join, you can be a member and just throw on your Fitbit and connect it to our system and go earn $25 to $550 a month exercising. You could casually refer some members, and we'll give you $50 in CMDX for every member that you refer. So you can do it kind of like part-time and create that wealth. I mean, imagine if you went back to Bitcoin in 2009, Andy, and I said, hey, if you throw on this Fitbit and exercise, I'll give you $10 a month of Bitcoin. Today, you'd be sitting on your own island, because that $10 a month would have turned into hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's what we try and stress with people today. As they join our platform, they can become a member. They can become a provider and actually set up a health store. It has to be for health products and services, or they can become an ambassador and open up a city, a country, or a continent, and allow CMDX to spread around the world. And that's what we're about. So
that's super cool. It's really amazing. You're on the entrepreneurial journey, but you also provide your members an opportunity to get on the entrepreneurial journey as well with the cryptocurrency, and it's very exciting. So let's say I'm starting a workout plan, or let's say I'm starting a health plan, and I have a Fitbit, and my Fitbit gets connected to the CMDX technology, and for every mile I walk, or every half mile I walk, or every quarter mile I walk, or every 20 miles I walk, I'm starting to accumulate cryptocurrency. Is that the way that the whole process works, Tom?
That is correct. You can CMDXRewards, which are points, and then those points convert into CMDX tokens, which are the actual cryptocurrency. Yeah. When you hit 50 points, that's the goal every month through a whole bunch of different activities. I think we track 60 different activities, and we have 30 major brands of fitness trackers that connect to our system.
That's incredible. That is so great, because not only are you helping people get into the crypto game and understand the importance of crypto for the future and what's going to happen with cryptocurrency and the technology blockchain behind it that's really revolutionizing so many different aspects of our economy and so many different aspects of our technological revolution worldwide. You're also putting them in the position to get healthy. And I love that so much. Tom, how did you and your team come up with this great idea for CMDX?
Well, I was driving up to the general store to get my wife some chocolate. I remember it clear. And I was sitting there. I had my whiteboard out the night before. And I was thinking, I really want to start a blockchain-based business. What would be one of the biggest industries? Kind of like the way Bezos, when he looked at Amazon, the reason he chose books is because there were more book titles than any product in the world. And I just said, what industry is the biggest? Where's the biggest problem? And certainly obesity and bad health, and, not just in the United States, but all around the world, there's all different types of health problems. But I said, I want to offer a couple products that everybody wants, and better health and more wealth were two of the biggest products I said. And so I kind of reverse engineered it from there and said, okay, I know what I want to market. What products do I need to build into it? And we've just kind of let it evolve from there. I read the book Bold by Peter Diamandis, and that opened my eyes to AI and these very disruptive technologies that were coming together. And that's where I got the idea for universal basic data income, and said, you know what? My data is worth money. I want to learn how to monetize it. And that became part of our business model in a very big way, and is now evolving with the advent of NFTs. It's a match made in heaven.
I love it, Tom. I love it so much. And obviously it appears that you are really creating a real comprehensive data profile on each of your members that will serve them very well. So maybe you could talk about that a little bit as well.
Sure. Well, when you answer our questionnaires, obviously those answers go into your data file, and then using your Fitbit, the data we get from that, what you search on our website, on our marketplace, all of that is recorded. And I estimate that we'll have probably 1,000 health data points on every single member over time. And that's very valuable data. And we're not going to be selling it to anybody, but if a company comes to us and says, hey, we want to advertise to everybody on your platform that has diabetes, we'll know that. We'll know exactly who they are, up some ads to those individuals. But it's something that they need. We want to give them custom tailored results, and private. Health data is something you got to be very careful with. And the customers own the data, but what they do is they turn around and lease it to us, a de-identified data file, meaning their name's not on it, just an encrypted number. And we know who to serve the ads up to based on that encrypted number. So it's real important, but people really are open to the concept of this universal basic data income. That's what we're promoting. And it's universal, meaning it's available to everybody. It's basic, meaning it's stuff we do every day. Data is the actual value that you get exchanged for the income that you're getting. So Google's making $100 billion a year off of our data. Why can't we turn the tables and own our data and make money off it ourselves?
I love it. And this universal basic data income is really a revolution, and it's empowering your 300,000 members, which I'm sure will be 1 million members before we know it. And it's really teaching them how to regain control of their personal and health data and monetize it. Really through the use of non-fungible tokens. So it's really, really an interesting technology. Congratulations. Now, Tom, you had mentioned that you also have an opportunity where people can maybe open up a store within CMDX to maybe sell health products. I think I heard that correctly, but yes. I want to talk about that a little bit because that's very fascinating.
Yeah, well, it's an Amazon style marketplace, or maybe an eBay style you'd call it. It's very first stage. It's where you kind of connect with the member, and you can send them a message and you can look at their products on the store. You can see their prices. You can see their reviews, their ratings, reviews. We allow them to put their social media links on there, so you can go out and see their social media to see how credible they are. But it's a peer-reviewed marketplace, and you can put products up there and have the ability to accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, or CMDX for payment. We do require that the providers take a minimum of 25% of CMDX, just so we can increase the circulation of our currency and the usability of it. So But like I said, for health products and services, and then our NFTs will also be added to the marketplace as well. So you'll see NFTs mixed amongst all of the health stores as well.
Tom, that's incredible. Now, you're known as well as being a world-renowned YouTuber. You've taught so many people about blockchain, so many people about crypto, and of course, you are a best-selling author. You've written the book, The Seventh Disruption: The Rise of the Digital Currency Billionaire. So when I'm thinking about crypto, and I'm thinking about blockchain, and I'm thinking about your CMDX currency, if you will. When I'm thinking about that, I always think about, where's it all going? What's going to happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years? Like, where is crypto going? Where is this blockchain technology taking us? Because so many people are adopting it. You have billionaires and large companies now getting involved. Where do you see this whole blockchain technology going in the next, let's just say, 5 to 10 years?
Well, there's a lot of things that are going to make it go big very quickly. It's going to be one of the fastest adopted technologies in the history of the world. We're 11 years in. We're expecting mass adoption by 2026, and that's not far away. There are a few reasons why it's going to happen, and I'll go through those. But the industry itself is there's only like 3% of the world involved in crypto right now. And we expect by 2023, there will be 13%. We'll hit that tipping point, as Malcolm Gladwell stated one time, that's when things really start to get real. And then really from 2023 to 2026 is where we expect probably the largest shift of wealth to move from the banking industry to the technology industry. And the big companies are positioning themselves to become the biggest banks in the world. I mean, if Facebook did open a cryptocurrency, they would instantly overnight be the biggest bank in the world. And it's very exciting. And it's not just, cryptocurrency is the killer app. I don't think a lot of people like saying that, like email was the killer app for the internet, but cryptocurrency, being able to send money without an intermediary, it's like being your own bank. You don't have to ask anybody permission, you don't get hassled, and you carry your money wherever you go. And fortunately, historically, it's been money that's gone up in value. Bitcoin has added a zero to its wealth every 2 years since inception. And I sure would have liked my dollars to do that, but they haven't.
That makes all the sense in the world. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't ask you and talk about some of the challenging stories of crypto throughout the years, and people that have lost some money in crypto, and of course it's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, but we need to talk about it because what's happened recently is an amazing step forward in all the security and everything that's happening, and a lot of those stories are sort of in a way bygone era already, just a year or two ago. So maybe you could talk about sort of the security of this crypto and why people today are so much better served than they were even 12, 18 months ago.
Well, yeah, the advent of soft wallets and web-based wallets and app-based wallets has made it a lot easier. The industry has this thing with these private keys, these 12 keywords that most people don't take the time to write them down. And I don't understand it, because if you lose your wallet and you have these 12 keywords, you can load it on any computer anywhere in the world and your money it pops back up. And people just don't do the steps. And I encourage everybody, when you get into crypto, start small, because I have personally sent a $3,000 transaction to the wrong address. Don't know who I sent it to, couldn't get it back, couldn't contact them, don't know who they are. They just woke up one day with $3,000 in their account. But you gotta, sometimes when you're doing bigger transactions, it's good to send maybe $5 first and say, hey, did you get it? And they go, yeah. So starting off with transactions, realizing the transactions are irreversible. And that's first and foremost. And then also that if you don't write down your 12 keys and you lose your phone, whatever is on your phone is gone forever. And we saw many of those stories of the guy that lost, 6,000 Bitcoins on a laptop, in a hard drive. There's so many people that have probably forgotten they had Bitcoin, and now it's worth millions of dollars. So I would say, like with our platform, we do have the ability, some of the newer blockchains do have the ability to reverse charges, burn charges. There are some advancements in blockchain technology that are going to help that. Coinbase has, they just went public with $100 billion, valuation. And you look at Coinbase and they have all kinds of protections in places, and it pops up. It says, are you sure you want to send this? Are you sure that's the right address? Unfortunately, in society today, some people just don't pay attention. And after they make their first mistake, they typically will learn after that. So I think everybody's going to make one mistake in crypto and say, I've learned from that. So, but yeah, the wallets are a lot easier to use. It's just becoming more user friendly, and that's required, because in the old days you had to load it onto your hard drive. You had to write down all these keywords and numbers, and it was just a hassle. But today it's a lot easier.
Well, I love it. And to get mass adoption, obviously fast, simple, and easy is going to be the key. And that's one of the things that, of course, CMDX is involved with, and being a leader in the field in this cryptocurrency sector, and of course, revolutionizing really how people can regain control of their personal and health data and monetize it, which is really, really interesting. Tom, you've done so much great work. You're a real leader, and I know that you've only cut out a certain amount of time for me today. But one thing I did want to get into with you a little bit was this work that was really inspired by the word miracle, and it's really, really interesting. The MIRACLE. I read into it a little bit. Of course, the first thing that I loved was that the M started talking about mentorship, and then the I talks about integrity, and then the R is re-engage, and then you've got attitude, create, leverage, and envision, which are all things that are very, very powerful for entrepreneurs to think about. And I would imagine a lot of the work at CMDX is also inspired by your miracle strategy. So maybe you could touch on that for the entrepreneurs watching the show, because it's super cool. And I love where you're going with the entire miracle strategy that you've developed.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The miracle strategy came up at a very difficult time in my life. And I ended up reading about 450 books. And just, to really program my mind. I feel like if you have this incredible supercomputer and you feed it garbage, it's going to produce garbage. And so I read a lot of great books. Philosophy, finance, self-help. I mean, you name it. I've got a book list that's just absolutely amazing. And I still, to this day, read a chapter a day, which allows me to close about 20 books a year. And it really helps when you're having to come up with new ideas. And I was developing a miracle strategy because I knew I wanted to write a book. And I thought, well, I'm going to maybe share all the things I've learned. And it wasn't until I read Pour Your Heart Into It by the founder of Starbucks. And that's when it all clicked, because every single aspect of miracle was in that book. And I started thinking of all the other books I read, and I said, that was in that book, but, mentorship and coming up with the little mnemonics for each one, like, mentorship, you need a map, a mentor advisory panel. If you're going to go on a journey, you got to have that integrity, which of course is your compass. You got to have all these little things that go along with it. And it just became a pet project of mine. And I said, you know what, these are 7 success tactics that if you utilize them, you will have a very good chance of success. And they worked for me. And we do apply them with what we're doing at CMDX for sure.
I love it so much, Tom. It makes all the sense in the world. And obviously people watching that want more information on this, you can Google Tom's name. We'll put some links below so you can easily get to him. When we think about CMDX, going back to it just for a minute, you've been able to, bootstrap a company. You've self-funded the company. You have over 300,000 members. You haven't even hit any type of probably hockey stick growth as of yet, but you're doing it the old-fashioned way. You're really building a great community of people that love your product and your service. And of course, you're rewarding people to be fit, which is absolutely incredible. So you're really hitting all the sort of check marks of amazing things. And the people actually love this platform that you put together, Tom. So when we think about entrepreneurship, a lot of people get so intertwined with their technology that they forget, Tom, that the most important thing is their customers. And I know at CMDX, you have not forgotten that. As a matter of fact, you put the customers at the forefront of what you're doing. So maybe you could talk about why that's become your philosophy. While your technology is, of course, state-of-the-art and incredible, and you have great technologists working on the platform continuously to continuously improve it and make it amazing. Of course, you've never forgot that your members are the single most important asset that you have. So how did that come about in your world and in your career, Tom?
Well, I've built a lot of websites. I started building websites back in '97. And a lot of times, I've made the mistake one time of trying to put all the bells and whistles, thinking I knew everything the customer wanted, and failed miserably. And then I learned the MVP strategy of putting together a base product and then getting feedback from the customers and saying, okay, what else do you want? And adopting kind of a pivot in mentality where it's to get feedback, pivot, get feedback, pivot. And it probably drives some people crazy. Definitely my programmers, I do, because they're like, oh, you're changing this again. And I'm like, yeah, it's not working. And the members and the customers are definitely the best source of that feedback. You're so buried in your company when you build one, you sometimes lose sight of it when you're underground, feeling like. And I think one of the advantages that I have is I'm not a technologist. I am more about user experience. So I go in through the front of the site. The developers work on the back, and I just say, hey, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And then I hire people to go through the front of the website and say what's intuitive, what's not. And that's a challenge. And they call that intelligent design. When you start, we're at a point now where we're focusing on intelligent design. So it's now minor tweaks every week, every Friday. We're trying to make a better improvement to the website, because you got heat maps, you got everything you can put on a website to tell you what's going on. And that feedback is amazing. But members, their feedback is gold. And I keep open chat rooms with them on Telegram. I keep open chat rooms. I do Zooms 3 times a week. So all the members have access to me. They can ask me questions. And I think being a CEO, you really got to be on the forefront. You got to be on the front line with your customers, and you just can't sit in the back thinking you know it all. I think that's a recipe for disaster. So that's really where it came from. I read Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, which is an awesome book. There's a whole bunch of books on startup business and building MVPs and just creating that most viable product, not the big one that you want, but creating it and saying, hey, customers, is this what you want? And letting them tell you.
Tom, I love it so much. CMDX is really leveraging, the technologies of artificial intelligence, machine learning, wearable technology, of course, with the Fitbit and the other units that the system will connect to and talk to, search results, and of course, strategic partnerships for data aggregation. So you really are putting together a comprehensive data profile for your members. They love what you're doing. It's so exciting that I can go take a run and earn some tokens. And I just love that idea so much. And I'm sure so many people are going to love it as well and go to the CMDX platform. For people that are saying to themselves, wow, I love what I'm hearing here. I want to get in on this. Maybe this is something even that perhaps I want to take a look at as an investment. How do people take a look at the CMDX opportunity? Is there a place to go, or can they call you, or where do they find out more about the Smartcurrency program you have put together?
Sure. I mean, they can go to CMDX.io. That's our main site. And we have a lot of videos on there that they can watch to learn the different aspects of our business. My email is always public. It's tom@cmdx.io. So if somebody does want to reach out to me and do a partnership or be a part of the company, we're always looking for ways to grow that platform. And you are right. We haven't seen the hockey stick growth curve yet, but we've been at a solid 40% growth curve. And it's consistently, I think our Alexa ranking is now up into the 80,000s. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll break under 40. So we're focused on, again, the fundamentals of, how many people are using our currency. And definitely we're getting ready to go out on an investor roadshow to put $1 million together to really spend it on marketing and exposure for the company. So for investors that they like that, they're not spending money on actual building the idea. It's already built. That's a real plus in our financial raise. So it'll save us a little bit of equity since we're already down the road with our proof of concept and our MVP.
Well, I love it, Tom. You've already proven the concept. You already have members. You already are generating income. I'm sure it's going to be a very successful roadshow. It might not even be a roadshow. It might be one stop and you get the funds and that's it. And then the roadshow's over. That's how good I like this so much. So Tom, you're such a well-read person. You've written a best-selling book. You're a best-selling author. You're a zeitgeist. You're a shapeshifter. So I want to end the show with this. I want to find out, what is Tom McMurrain's why? Why do you get up in the morning? What gets you motivated? What is the thing that makes you tick? So this is something that's kind of fascinating to find out from successful people like yourself. So what is Tom McMurrain's why?
the stories. It's just, I wake up in the morning and Nigeria has already tagged me in a bunch of stuff from meetings, and there's meetings full of people, and there's people buying cars and improving their lifestyle. There was my Filipino gal that posted that she bought a gas stove for the first time in her life and could have now hot water and sterile water for the children. It's just things like that. I call them $1 billion paydays. It's when you've impacted somebody's life in a positive way. It's a huge responsibility to build a company like this and navigate the waters that we're in. But at the end of the day, I just want to have a positive impact on millions of people's lives. And, when I am traveling to a village, and I had this happen to me in Macau, a lady walked up to me and said, I watched your videos and I make an extra $1,000 a month because of you. And heck, she's probably a millionaire by now. That was five years ago, but it's just neat. I'll tell you that story. This is really what made it work. She thanked me, and then she ran back to her backpack and she grabbed this little panda bear. And I'm like, I'm already almost have tears already. And the minute she touched the panda bear, I was like, she's not going to give that to me. And I had this iPad I had won in a contest at this event that I was speaking at. It was a gift to me. And she walked to that panda bear and handed it to me. Man, I handed her that iPad so fast and turned around and walked away. I was just like, I'm not going to let her see me cry over this. But it was really touching. And I think it's stories like that when knowledge is the path to prosperity for so many people. And I just love it when people are open to learning and getting into the space, because this technology will lift more people out of poverty than any technology in history, because it gives people the ability to participate in organized financial services. And where organized financial services takes root, the quality of life increases, crime decreases, people have a better quality of life. And I love that. And I'm more excited, to be honest with you, about blockchain technology than I am CMDX, because we're built on it. But blockchain is what makes it all work, just like TCP/IP is what makes the internet work. And it's a powerful technology.
I love it, Tom. Well, you heard it here first from one of the worldwide leading experts. Tom, it's such a delight to have you on the show. I know you're so busy talking to people all over the world, moving CMDX forward. And I really wanted to thank you for, really cutting out some time for us to talk to you today. I've been very excited about the show, and I just want to thank you so much for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and I appreciate you taking the time. And I love sharing the story about CMDX, and I thank you for allowing me to do that.